This is a story about patriotism in the year 2024. We do live in America in a revolutionary tradition, certainly. But the question is, what kind of a revolution should we have? There are two kinds. One, the kind we started with, the other, the kind we have today. What was the kind we started with? Well, I can tell it in the story of an old soldier who had fought at Concord. And someone said to him in his old days, "Why did you go to Concord on that April day? You suffered great oppression, didn't you?" Well, Colonel Preston said, "No, I wasn't conscious of any great oppression from a foreign power." "Well, then, it's because you were against the Stamp Act." "Well, I never saw any of the stamps. I think that General Bernard kept some of them in Castle William, but I never saw them. I certainly didn't fight on account of the Stamp Act." "Well, then you revolted on account of the tea tax." "I never drank a cup of tea in my life. I wasn't interested in the tax." "Well, then you must have been reading Harrington, Sidney, and Locke." "Never read them. All I ever read was the Bible, Watts' hymns, and the Catechism." "Well, then, why did you go to Concord?" He said, "For one reason, in order that we might govern ourselves." That was the American Revolution, to govern ourselves. Now, what's the revolution of today?
We've been playing at civilization for a fraction of a second. Everything is going into exponential change, from education to quantum computing to cryptocurrency to transport to macroeconomics to geopolitics to climate crises to everything. It's breaking our brains. We're overwhelmed, we're collapsing in grief. It does feel that the handrails, the things that we used to look to for stability and security, have just evaporated.
Now you see, if you were brought up in the Bible Belt, you came out of Arkansas somewhere, and that's all the religion you knew, and you had a mystical experience of the type where you suddenly discover that you are one with God, then you're liable to get up and say, "I'm Jesus Christ." And lots of people do. Well, the culture that we live in just can't allow that. There's only one Jesus Christ.